the more you kind of fuck up the haircut, the more you learn. Know what I mean?
I think in life you need to have these situations in order to actually understand, right, okay, what path is it that I actually want to go down.
X Studios open, so it was like boom, everyone's just coming in for trims.
How did you then kind of move on to cutting Celtic players' hair?
First big football I cut at the time was Karamoko Dembele.
Oh yeah. Was the actual cut his hair?
I'm sure it was like a gaff at Renfrew or something. If I get in with the Rangers or Celtic boys, like that's what's gonna kind of make who I am.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Don Diaries, and today we have a very special guest. We have Exauce Imbo.
Yo.
Or formerly better known as Ex the Barber. How are you doing, though?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yourself?
Nah, I'm all good, man. Thanks for coming through today. I know you're a very, very busy guy, mate.
Nah. Thanks for having me, man.
I tried to sneak a wee haircut off you before it, but you didn't even have the time for it.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good, but I'll get booked in.
For sure, man. For sure.
I need somebody to, actually kind of line up my buzz cut properly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking a wee bit dead today, man.
I got you, bro. Man. Make sure. I want to see you in my schedule, man. I want to see you in my diary, man.
Bro. We'll do it. Well, that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you a wee bit later in the podcast, but we might as well. But you actually can get booked in with you? You're not like, your books are closed to specific people? Or?
No. You can book it. Anyone can book in.
Okay.
You just go online and just see the availability. If I'm available, I'm available. If I'm not, I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think I'm fully booked until like December or so at the moment. So
okay. Nah, cool. Yeah, I just didn't know if you could actually. I thought you were like that exclusive almost.
No. Anyone can book it. Anyone in the world can book it, man.
No,
All you need to do is just go online, go on the website, check what time's available, pick your services, pick your barber, me, AD cuts, Desta cuts, and then that's it, man.
Cool, bro.
Easy, straightforward.
I'll know for future then. We'll definitely 100% get booked in, man, because I need to get lined up properly for sure.
We'll see, bro. We'll see.
I'm a man of my word, man. You can trust me with that. First of all, as well, in case anybody thinks, well, like, sitting here stoned or something, X came in with the shades on, and I was like, do you know what, fuck it, I need to bring the shades on for having X in the studio, man. Right, good stuff. But let's every kind of podcast that I do, mate, it's almost like they kind of guess, like, their kind of story through life, their journey through life, how they got to the position that you're in just now, obviously, which we'll get to eventually. But so that I can understand that, tell me about young X. What do I need to know about young X that is solidified the businessman, the barber that's sitting here in front of me today?
Young X, man. Young X was a bit of a menace, man, not gonna lie.
Okay.
Like, I think from young, I've always been like, I've wanted to do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
No matter what, like, my mum told me, my dad told me, my teachers told me, my friends told me, I've always had that mindset is, if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. Even if it's like illegal, or even if it's wrong, or even if I shouldn't do it, I'll be like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? So I've always had that sort of mindset is, I'm kind of stuck to what I want to do in my head, which can be a good thing at times if you're doing well, but obviously it can be a bad thing at times if you're not doing well, if you're making bad decisions and stuff like that. So in school, I would say primary school, I moved about though, a few houses. So I went to a few primary school and high schools. I went to Bellahouston High School, my first year and a half. But I had to move school because I just kept on. I think I got suspended like 11 times in my first year.
What for?
Yeah, just messing about, man.
I got suspended maybe a couple of times as well. So we're in the same boat as
just messing about, man. Like in school, man. Mate, I just went to school for a laugh, man.
I was the exact same, man. I think in 6th year I was only staying on so I could go to prom and get married pretty much. So I was the exact same as you. Yeah. But what about then? So see, could I ask you about your kind of? You're from Congo as well.
Yeah. I'm originally from Congolese. I'm Congolese.
So were you born in Congo and then moved here?
Yeah. I was born in Congo and I moved to. I was born in Congo and I think I moved to London when I was like 1.
Okay.
And I think I stayed there for like 2 years or whatever in Hackney. And then my family moved over to Glasgow. And then all my life I just grew up in Glasgow, man. Grew up in a scheme. So I've landed in Ibrox, Govan. I've just been there like all my life. I've recently moved out of there though recently. But that's where I've been, man. So.
And why was it that your family wanted to come over to the UK?
Just for a better lifestyle, man. Like in Africa, mate, life is hard there, man. Know what I mean? Life is very hard there and it's different from here, sort of thing. So if you're kind of born into, like, say, not having money, it's harder there for opportunities and for things you want to do because there's not really much there unless it's inherited or unless you know people. And at that time, there was like war and everything. It wasn't really a good time to raise a Wayne. So we moved over to the UK and then raised up in a scheme, man. So
there is you.
That's it.
Come on, man. Come on. And if you actually had the opportunity to kind of go back to the Congo point of time?
No, man. I've always wanted to go back to the Congo all my life, but I think my mum and dad, that was the first time going back in 2019, and they didn't bring me, man. I was like, but it's
left you at home.
Left me at home, man. So, but Congo's one of them places, man. It's like if I was to go back there, I would need to go with family, or I need to go with someone that knows the place. Know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not like I could just go there by myself, and because more time it's like the people there, they'll kind of exploit you because they kind of see you're a foreigner sort of thing, so they'd just be trying to milk you with money sort of thing, know what I mean? So it's like you need to go with the right people that know the areas, know the places, because some places can be very unsafe and some places can be very safe. So it's just
And then what you mentioned that you kind of grew up in schemes then around Scotland.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
Oh mate, it was class, man. Not gonna lie.
Was it? Yeah, it was class.
It was class, man. I think it was just, mate, because I grew up in Govan, right on Govan Road. So it was like, mate, every day if you look at your window, man, it was a movie, man. Like something's always happening, man. Someone's either, not in a good way, right? But it's like
there's always it keeps
it interesting, man. Someone's either because I grew up in an era where like gang violence was like big, man. Know what I mean? Like young teams and stuff like that. So
and Govan,
it was massive, man. Like it was really inherited as well. So it was like you look at the window, man. There'd be gangs fighting each other, schemes fighting each other, junkies doing this, junkies doing that. It was just a madness going up in Govan, but it kept it entertaining. And obviously, being that like wee black boy, man, it was like kind of they either loved you because you were black and you were different, or they kind of hated you because you were black and you're different. So it was kind of.
And what did you find then? Because that is one of the questions that I wanted to ask you. Obviously, you know, growing up in a kind of scheme, or even Scotland where it is obviously predominantly just white, and especially in schemes as well, because there'll be a lot of people out there that very uneducated, or they maybe would have looked at you differently just because you were, you know, black in a scheme. Did you have times like that, or was it mostly kind of just smooth sailing for you?
Not gonna lie, man. I think it was. You'll always go through like say a few like racism and this, that, but I think it was more just curiosity. Okay. You know what I mean? They were always just, because I was different, they always just asked me questions like, how do you get your hair like that? Or this, that, or this, that. So they were more just curious of, because I was different in it, they were more just curious of, where does this guy come from? Know what I mean? Like, what's going on? But it was more like, because I'm just cool with everyone, know what I mean? Like, so it's more like, they just want to get to know me and want to get to know where I'm from. But obviously you get some people that'll just be like, oh, yeah, know what I mean? So,
yeah. So most of the time it was just people kind of mostly being curious.
Yeah, that's it.
And to be honest, we're not really that different, obviously. But in that kind of situation as well, man. And so do you think then that growing up in schemes, was that one of the reasons why you were troublesome in school, or do you just think you were just one of these people who just didn't really give a fuck about school?
Man, honestly, man, I'm not really like a lecturer person, man. Like, see, like reading and writing and that, it was like I'm more like hands-on, you know what I mean? I loved like techie, I loved PE, I loved art. Like with them stuff, I really kind of put my head down and focus, because I was using my imagination, my creation. But see, with the other stuff, man, with maths and English, you know what I mean? I mentally couldn't concentrate, and that was a problem, man. Like I would just have a laugh in class, man, to just make my time in class go quicker, man, because my brain just couldn't hack it, man. Not gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah, you sound pretty similar to me, to be fair. In school as well, I was interested in the things that I was actually interested in, obviously, but things like maths, and you're in doing it. Now, obviously, to a degree, you need to have some sort of maths and English, but I just never understood, like, some of the things you were doing, you're like, I'm never going to ever need to use this in my life, why am I wasting my time in class sitting, I don't know, sweating about this or sweating about tests and exams? I was just like, I want to do something that I actually kind of want to go out and do.
For real.
No, we were definitely similar in school then, man. So what age was it then that you kind of started cutting hair, and how did that actually kind of come about?
I started cutting hair at the age of 14. So what it was, man. So my dad used to have a barber that used to come around the house every so often and just cut his hair. And I would look at him like the transition of obviously just looking bummy, and then the transition of just having a fresh trim. I was like, how the hell does he do that, man? I was thinking, if he can do that, I can do that. And then I just found like a rusty pair of clippers in the house, and I just started. Luckily, I've got 2 younger brothers. So I just grabbed them.
That was your guinea pigs, yeah.
That's it, pretty much, man. So I was like,
sit down this seat, you're getting your fucking hair trimmed, man.
That's it. So I just grabbed them, man. I was like, look, you're getting your hair trimmed, man. So I would cut the hair like probably 2 or 3 times a week, even though they didn't need a haircut. I would still cut it, because I loved the learning, and I loved like the transition of just things and just how this turns into that. And the more you kind of fuck up the haircut, the more you learn, know what I mean? So luckily they were my guinea pigs, and if I did do it was a few times like, oh my days, man.
Can I leave the house?
Oh mate, I remember one time, man, I cut my brother's hair, man, hairline all wonky, the fade wasn't all good, man. We went out to play football, man, everybody was looking at me, who cut your hair, man? I was like, oh my days. I was like, oh.
So that's just how you get the shades on, it's you hiding from all those people. That's class, yeah. But that's really interesting that was just like, you know, somebody came to your house, but that at such a young age, at 14, it's not usually like the thing that you would get that interested by. I would just, for example, if that was somebody coming in to cut my dad's hair, I'd just be like, oh, he's in cutting his hair. But with you, it was like there was something different that kind of clicked a wee bit. And you were just like,
the thing is, I was always around her. Like my mum is a hairdresser. She does lots of like the braids, the twists, cornrows, and all that for obviously African hair, African Caribbean hair. So I was always around her all my life, and my dad used to cut my hair when I was younger. I used to cut a few other people, not in serious, but I was always around her, you know what I mean? And I think about if I didn't start at the age of 14, I would have eventually, I really believe I would have eventually been a barber anyway. Okay. If it wasn't so early, eventually in my life, I'll still cut hair. But luckily I done it the age I done it, and I loved that, man. Ever since I done it, I just kept on doing it, man.
Yeah, and I bet you're glad that you made that decision.
No, definitely,
things look like they're going all right for you, mate.
All right, man. All right, man. Decent, man.
Yeah. So how did that then transition from using your two wee brothers as guinea pigs to then, I take it you went and started cutting your friends' hair?
Yeah. So what it was, this was at 14, so I just started doing my friends, all friends, and I can't thank my friends enough, man, because even though the terms wasn't the best, they would always just support. They would always just, I've been cutting my friends for years now, since the age of 14. They still come to me till this day, man. I can't appreciate them. I can't thank them enough. I can't really, know what I mean? Because without them, I probably wouldn't be at the stage I'm at, because they were my guinea pigs also, and I was learning through them. And they were supporting me, even though I wasn't at the kind of skill set level I am now. And I'm still learning every day. But they were just reposting me, and obviously social media helped a lot at that time, man. Like people, oh, X cuts hair, da. And at that time, lots of people were seeing me cutting hair, and they're like, oh, can I get a trim? And it was just kind of haircut after haircut. This was during school, so I would go to school, and after school, I'll still cut hair. Even at parties, I'll always bring, you know what I mean, be gaffs and that. I would always bring my tools. I'll cut hair. I'm sure I cut your hair at a gaff once, innit? Yeah.
For anybody who's listening in, my pal Fuentes is here who knows X, and you actual cut his hair.
I'm sure it was like a gaff at Renfrew or something, and I had my clippers. I just cut his
ears. Nikia, do you remember that gaff?
Yeah, I remember that gaff. Yeah, I remember that gaff. Oh, good old days.
That's crazy, man. That's bad that you just used to go to gaffs and cut hair as well.
It was, I just loved it. You know, that age, I just loved it. And it was one of them ones I'm just talking to everyone, this, that. I'm like, I can cut your hair, you man. Cool, but they always thought I was bamming up, but I just whip up my tools. Man
comes prepared. He comes prepared.
For real, man.
So when you were then cutting your friends' hair, if I can ask as well, was it, because they are different, was it predominantly just kind of like, you know, black hair that you were cutting? It wasn't
first,
just... Yeah, at first it was, right,
first it was predominant, because obviously my two younger brothers are black.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. And most of my friends were black, but don't get me wrong, I did have a few white friends and a few Asian friends and stuff like that. And with their hair, I would always struggle with, because it was a different texture. You needed to do different techniques and stuff like that. And I knew from a young age, man, like I always had that kind of plan and that mindset, okay, I need to learn how to cut every type of hair for me to kind of go the way I want to go. So at 16, I dropped out of school, man. Like this was in 5th year. I was in 5th year. This was right before my exams. And I was like, I can't do this anymore, man. Like I wasn't really sure I probably wasn't going to pass my exams anyway. I didn't study. I wasn't really focused in school. So I left, and I was doing window cleaning with my man, Chris Phillips. And my guy I've knew for years, like, hi mate, morning man, we'll do window cleaning, that's that. So I was doing window cleaning, I was cutting hair on the side. So I was doing lots of work in it. But mate, I think window cleaning made me realise I really want to become a barber. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Window cleaning, because don't get me wrong, it was the guy I worked with, amazing guy, man, what a guy. But with the window cleaning, man, we'll wake up like 7 a.m. And I bear in mind, I started in the winter, man. And you'll be outside in the freezing cold. And he's been doing it for years, man. So you'll be always working with water, the soap and water that I did. It'll be dripping all over my fingers, man. I'll be like, mate, my fingers are freezing cold. You just be laughing at me. He just has to look, I'm freezing. I'm freezing here, man. But it was an amazing experience, know what I mean? Window cleaning and stuff like that. But I think I realized, I want to like work indoors, and I think barbering is really where my heart is at and what I really want to do and what I really enjoy. So I was working in a wee African barber shop, man, for a bit, and the guy was like, look, maybe we can't have you here for any longer. I was like, oh, what, man? So I didn't have a place for ages. And then there was a barber shop in town called Rebel, which was a predominantly like Caucasian barber shop, know what I mean?
Yep.
But it was like, when I walked past it, man, like I looked inside and I was like, wow. Because the barbershop had like 15 chairs. The barbershop had like 15 chairs. They done mad services. They gave out coffee. They gave out this. I was like, what the hell? There was like wee buds kicking about cleaning and all that. I was like, what the hell's going on? And the thing is, I came from like a wee African barbershop, like just wee £5 trims and off you go, man. To obviously seeing this, I was like, this is where I want to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just kind of seeing the sort of vision. I was like, how the hell do they do this? So I went in. I was like, look, I'm a young barber. They're like, yeah, come in for a trial cut. I'll hit you up in a few weeks. I'll phone you up and then we can get a trial cut sorted. And then I was waiting weeks and weeks and weeks. My guy didn't hit me up, man. I was like, oh, what, man? I was like, mate, I'm pulling up again, man.
Did you go up there?
Yeah, I pulled up again, man. I was like, yo, look, man, what happened to that phone call, man? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. He's like, look, tomorrow come in, bring in your model, do your haircut. I was like, right, cool. So I brought in my model, I done my fade, and everyone in the barbershop would just shook, man, do all of that. Wow, how old are you? I was like, yeah, I'm 16. They're like, wow. Yeah, I got hired straight away, man. Straight away. So I was an apprentice at this point, and I was obviously just doing the sweeping and the cleaning and that, but man, I hated it, man. And it was at that point I was like, oh mate, I just wanted to cut hair, man. Like obviously as a barber, you've got to do it. It's mandatory. It's part of the process, know what I mean? But it's just I hated it. My mind was just I want to cut hair. But obviously I didn't see the sort of bigger picture of like obviously that helps you a lot. But obviously now and me becoming a shop owner, me knowing okay, this is what you need to do. But it came to time then. They let me on the floor one day. They're like, okay, we'll open up a Saturday for you. Open up your column, see how you do. My first week, man, fully booked.
Right, yeah.
On a Saturday, and then okay, next week we'll open up a Friday and Saturday. The Friday and Saturday, fully booked. And it was just one of that way. Like everybody that will come in the chair, I'd always say, okay, after the haircut, just post a little picture, just tag me. I'd be like, post a little picture, tag me. So it'd be like so much people tagging me, and so much people just seeing me on other people's stories. Then they'll follow me. They'll say, oh, this guy cuts hair. So I was just kind of using my clients as just free promo now. Just free promo, man. So that was my first kind of barbershop experience, man.
Yeah, well, it's crazy to see how much it's actually grown as well. Because you just said, I remember seeing you ages ago cutting hair, and then we'll talk about that in a second. Because then you started cutting footballers' hairs and that. I was like, bro, this guy's fucking everywhere, man. He's everywhere. But touching back as well, seeing the window cleaning kind of side of things that you were saying as well, it's interesting because like you'll probably be grateful for that experience as well. And there's nothing wrong with saying that you don't want to be a window cleaner. There is people out there that probably do want to be a window cleaner, and that's fine. But I think in life you need to have these situations in order to actually understand, right, okay, what path is it that I actually want to go down? I was just saying, mate, I worked in a bank and I just absolutely despised it, but I'm also grateful for the opportunity because it's shown me that I never want to do that ever again. Whereas if I didn't have that, then it might have went down like a different path as well, man. And it's been crazy to see how it just kind of grew and grew. I thought you were going to say the guy didn't call you back, and then that was you kind of raging. You're like, fuck you, because I was like, he's made the biggest fucking mistake ever, not like taking you in there.
Now with me, I knew that's where I wanted to be, man. Like, see, to just have that kind of, because I've been around, like, say, the African barbershop vibe, if the Afro hair and now I wanted to be around a different sort of vibe, a different sort of place, know what I mean, that I've not really kind of experienced before. And I think that was probably one of the best decisions I've made because I've learned so much. There was a woman called Gemma Willock-Smith, which helped me a lot with learning a little bit with like Caucasian hair, the scissoring, the styling and stuff like that. And it kind of just leveled up my barbering game.
Yeah. And the reason that I asked you that, it is very different, isn't it? Like my hair compared to your hair is going to be completely different, isn't it?
For sure.
When you were in that barber shop then, was that then mainly a Caucasian barber shop? But then when you came in, were you then like diversity?
Yeah. They loved it because it's like the vibe I brought in, the clients I brought in, it was just different from what they used to. Bear in mind, they were in the city centre. So they're used to obviously having the, you know, your office people that work in the city centre, you're sort of like businessmen, this, that are happy to pay a little bit extra for a haircut. And then I would just bring in just young people, edgy people, this, that. So it was a big contrast, but they loved it because it was something different. It was a little vibe, it was a little buzz.
You're bringing them in business as well, from a different clientele that they maybe wouldn't have been used to.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So then how does that then progress from there? Obviously you're busy and busier and busier every single week. What happens from that point then?
Yeah, I was busy, and then I was there for a year, and then the manager at Rebel, I think she left to open up her own barbershop, and then she said, look, X, you can come join me, because bearing in that, man, I was still an apprentice, so I was bringing them in lots of business, but I was still getting paid like £4 an hour or whatever, the minimum wage at 16 at the time. And they was like, look, X, you can come with me, you'll be self-employed, it'll be commission based, you get a percentage of every haircut you do. And as soon as I heard that, man, my ears were ringing. I was like, hey. I was like, okay, say that, man. So
how did that? So see, when you said that you were on minimum wage, and then see when you worked at the previous barbershop, were you just getting paid like a kind of set salary?
So what it was 50-50, man. So I used to do £5 trims, and pretty much I was getting £2.50 per trim. And bear in mind, that time I used to do a haircut in like 2 hours or 1 hour and a half.
Yeah, you're proper taking your time.
I was proper taking my time on it, and it was like I was still developing my craft, you know. So I was still learning, and
Bro, that is some amount of work for £5. Oh well, £2.50.
Yeah.
No, that's
real,
crazy. But again, it's so. This is why I wanted to get you on as well, because I love hearing stories like this when people maybe just look at you online and in social media and just see, you know, he's always been successful, but there's been a massive grind to obviously
No,
to
for real,
point,
man. Like I've been working consistently since the age of 14, man. Like, I can't, like, I don't think I've asked my mum for money since I was like 13 or whatever. Know what I mean? Because even at school, I legit went to school to just make money. Yeah. Because there was a point, and like, mate, I used to just get chewing gums, man, from Home Bargains, man, my favorite shop of all time, man. Home Bargains, man, I swear, man. Every morning, man, I go to Home Bargains, man, get a little pack of like Mentos, a pack of chewing gums, a pack of sweets to the door. £1, you get a pack of 5, whatever, going to the school. And luckily, in my school, a new head teacher came and said, look, the first and second years, you're not allowed out in your interval and lunchtime. So I was rubbing my hands, man. I was like, look, man, that was the sweeties, man. Look, 50p, £1 that I did, just bag full of sweets. Like, me, man, we are. You know what I mean? So I was just there to just make money, man. I would be leaving like making probably like £25 profit every single day, man. I'll probably spend like £6 on sweets. You make like 25 quid every day.
You've always had that entrepreneurship
I've always
from a young age.
I've always just be like having freedom, just kind of financially sort of thing. You know what I mean? From a young age, I knew, okay, if I couldn't get this, I need to do it by myself. And it's like, with the mentality I have, I'll do what I want to do anyways. Like, I wasn't allowed to do it in school, but I was still done it because I was making money. And so I was like, I will still do this. So I've always had that mentality of, okay, I'm going to do what I want to do. And if money's coming in, you get me. So
yeah, that's it, man. And how long were you at the other barbershop then? See, when you started to become more kind of self-employed?
I was in there for a year and a half, I think. I was in there for a year and a half. And then it shut for COVID, obviously. Okay. And then during COVID, I was thinking, I was like, look, man, I've got a bit of money saved. I've got my clientele. I was thinking, mate, what's next, man? Because really and truly, man, like, my clientele was big, man. Like, you know what I mean? I was busy. I was like, I could probably just do something here, man. Let's see. Yep. So I was just scrolling through, trying to look for units, and I seen one unit that just kind of stood out to me, man. I was like, that's the one I want, man. So I went in during COVID, checked it out. I was like, yeah, I'm taking this, man.
Really? And this was actually during like,
this was during COVID, during the pandemic, man. But with the way my head was at, I was thinking, look, this could be such a big risk, because with the pandemic, everything was such a, like, it was an unsure time. You know what I mean? You didn't know what was happening. You didn't know how long you'll be locked up for. You didn't know when you were allowed out. You didn't know what you were allowed to do. You know what I mean? Everywhere was locked off, and I was like, look, I'm scared. No, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on, but in my mind and in my heart, I always wanted to just kind of have my own place, and I always had a vision of what I wanted it to be and what I wanted it to look like, branding wise, promoting wise, advertisement wise. I was like, look, this is what I want to do. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then set up the place. I was waiting until obviously we were free.
Big Bojo's blessing.
That's it. And then boom, I told everyone, look, there's Ex Studio, man. And then I was like, what? Because it was like, you know what I mean? It was just silent for so long, nothing happening. Then out of nowhere, when everything's kind of freed up a little bit, Ex Studio's open. So it was like, boom, everyone's just coming in for trims. Bear in mind, people's hair was long. People were cutting their hair themselves. People were getting their dad to cut their hair, their sisters. Everyone was a barber during lockdown, even though.
My sister, honestly, bro, she gave me what I like to say a Tommy Shelby trim. See the guy with Peaky Blinders. Asked for a fade, and it was literally just like a zero. Already back in size, with just this bit of hair on top. Oh, mate, it was awful. But you're right, everybody did turn into a barbers during lockdown.
For sure, man.
And were you making a lot of money during lockdown? Still doing homers with people? Or?
Yeah, I shouldn't have been, but I was still doing homers.
Yeah, you've got to.
Damn. Money's got to come from somewhere, man. Damn.
And I think you've got to capitalise on that as well, because like you said, in lockdown, we were all moving like smelly tramps.
Yeah,
we definitely were, man. Like hair was all over the place. Because we used to, me and my pals, we used to go to this guy. He opened up his living room in actual Govan, and this was like the height of like COVID and lockdown, bro. That honestly must have been like 100 people in this guy's living room, man. He was making like a power, by the way.
Oh, for sure, man. Because at that time, people were happy to pay whatever for a haircut, man. Like COVID was like the happiest time of my life, because like it was like I had this adrenaline rush of, okay, I'm starting something and I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna go good or bad. So it's like it's a wee buzz in it.
Yeah, of course.
But also it's like I had time, I had freedom, and one thing us barbers are not used to is time, man, because we're constantly cutting hair back to back. I had time. I'll do 4 or 5 haircuts and I'll charge triple what I done. So I was doing less work, making probably the same or more money I done, and I had more time in my hands to obviously set up my business and just have more time to myself. So I was just chilling, man, and it was like I didn't mind everything being locked off, because I was just in the zone, just focusing on what I need to do for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Good
man.
time. For me personally though, during that COVID time, like for other people it was the worst time of their lives. You know what I mean? Those are things, they've lost their jobs, they've lost this. But for me, it was like a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? So
I think it just depends how you view the situation. So I remember when lockdown first happened, I was heavy. I don't know if you're depressed and all that, and you're like, listen, that's what it is. We're just going to kind of ride out. But again, like you said, it's probably going to be a risk, you know, leaving a barber shop and opening up your own in normal times, never mind actually doing it through a pandemic. But again, I think you need to take risks in order for them to actually pay off. And beforehand as well, you just mentioned there, your client list was like, it was big. So do you mean it was big as in, obviously I know that you were busy, but were you meaning big as in like there was more big names coming in for you?
I'll say, well, yes, that as well, because that's when I started like doing the Celtic players and stuff like that, so I was getting more attention.
I'll talk to you about that in a second, so I love Celtic.
But at that time, it was like I was just busy as a barber in it, so it was like I need to do something here, you know what I mean? Because everyone was just breaking in with me, everyone was trying to text me, I was like, everyone wants a haircut, you know what I mean? So it's an amazing feeling in it. So I was like,
no, it is, but you worked hard to get that position, mate. And
sure, man.
Of course, if you put the grind in, then the results are going to come with that. I'm very, very sorry to be interrupting the episode. I know you guys are loving it. However, I need to tell you about the official sponsors of the Don Diaries, which is Black Rooster. They have chains all over Scotland so that you can get all of your piri meals and you can stay spicy. So how did you then kind of move on to cutting Celtic players' hair, cutting footballs? So I remember showing my dad. I've had a season ticket since I was like 3 years old, right? So I've been to games, whatever. And I remember following Instagram years and years ago, and I was like, Dad, no way, like this guy that I know was like fucking cutting like Edwards hair, Dembele's hair and all that. So how did that even come about?
So first of all, like the first big football I cut at the time was Karamoko Dembele.
Oh yeah, I actually just seen a video of him on the radio. He's playing for Blackpool now.
He scored a beautiful goal the other day.
I just seen it. Yeah, it's class.
So yeah, he was like, and this was at the time when it was that kind of super the rising star, whatever.
Bro, he was massive, like
crazy,
you
man.
See
like
at that time, man, he was like going to be the next, like,
you know what I mean? Like he was massive. And I remember when I trimmed him, man, he tagged me on his story, man, my followers probably went up by like 3,000 people. Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? Do I mean? And then from there, he kind of recommended me to the Missing Dembele's, and then and all that. That's when Missing Dembele left, and then the other boys were in, Olivia and Cham, Odson Edward, and all that. So it was like I feel the Celtic boys, and I was like, right, like, this is crazy, you know what I mean? So, but I always knew from a young age, man, like if I get in with the Rangers or Celtic boys, like that's what's gonna kind of make who I am. Because really and truly in Scotland, man, that's what
That's what Glasgow is.
That's what Glasgow is,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I mean, Rangers are Celtic, know what I mean? So
everything evolves around that, though, isn't it?
Sure.
It's crazy. Like,
for sure, man.
For anybody listening down in England that I don't know much about Celtic and Rangers, it genuinely does divide Scotland.
It divides Scotland,
The
for
religion,
sure, man.
schools,
Everything,
it's crazy.
It's
so
like... And just the hate built into it is crazy as well.
mental,
I'm like,
man,
what's going on?
Like I said, I'm a Celtic fan, but I'm not like one of these pure. I'm there to watch the football with my dad. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of where it stops for me. I'm there to support my team and all that. But yeah, there's a lot that goes on. It's a complex topic. We won't get into it. But I think with somebody like yourself, you need to be smart. Right? Okay, if I'm cutting a Celtic players there, I need to then get into cutting a Rangers players there because you don't want to create that divide with your business being seen as a Celtic only barber, and it's like, boom, you could lose like half your
City.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
for
it.
real, for
So
real.
what, I know, because I remember always seeing you like you were at like the houses cutting their hair, and no, it was crazy to see, and so that just kind of came from Karamoko, and then you just built the contacts
just kind of build
that.
the contacts up from that, and then I cut a few of the Rangers boys in that. I'm one of them man. I'm quite a bold person, man. If I see you, I'll talk to you about my business. I'll talk to you about what I'm doing and who I am, because you need to promote yourself in it. And that's what it's all about. That's what I believe in, anyways. So Joe Aribo, I actually met him in a night out.
Oh, did you?
I seen him. I was like, I grabbed him. I was like, hey, Joe. Yo, what go on, bruv? You good? I said, yeah. Look, I'm a barber, bro. I was like, oh, you're a barber, yeah? I said, what's your number, bro? What's your number? I was like, yeah, bro, that's my number. I was like, cool. Then after that, I was like, I mean, this guy's not gonna text me. I say, man. Then like 2 weeks later, man, the guy texted me. I was like, hey, no way. So he pulled up for a trim. I think he just told a few of the other boys, like Calvin Bassey.
Is it Defoe? You always cut
Defoe's
yeah.
And then Defoe, but I didn't cut Defoe's hair at first though. That was one guy. I
okay.
was like, I would have cut this guy's hair, man.
Well, he's like a legend.
Oh, big legend, man. I was like, I would have cut this guy's hair. I didn't cut his hair for like the first year he was at Rangers or whatever. And then I think just through word of mouth in changing room and stuff like that. Then he came through like the year after, and then just I've been cutting his hair like whilst he was here. I was cutting his hair like constantly, like every week. So
yeah. It might have been Aribo being like that. Do you know what I mean? Going to reply to this guy's text.
Yeah.
Get a trim off him. That's crazy. And do you think that not that it's like necessary that it's been a part of your success, but would you say that obviously it has helped having those clients?
It's helped massively, man, because it's helped massively because you know what it's like, man. Like Glasgow and Scotland, it's just Rangers and Celtic based. Then really and truly, like here, what's bigger than Rangers or Celtic?
I know, not much.
Like really, what is bigger than Rangers or Celtic? That's what actually makes like Glasgow. Know what I mean? And I knew as soon as I got into that, man, it will help my business a lot. So it did help a lot, man. See, if we're just getting attention and this, that, and most of the articles I've had is just through the old farm, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously my story in that as well. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's not just like obviously Celtic and Rangers players as well.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, who were you cutting this morning? Diversity?
Yeah, Diversity, yeah. Before I came, I was cutting Diversity boys. I think they had the show this weekend. They just hit me up. I was like, we'll look for a barber. I say nothing, cuz.
I'm there, man. I'm there. So in terms of then when you were actual kind of barbering and owning your own shop, what do you think's been like one of the biggest kind of challenges of actually getting that business, and obviously the place had nothing inside it, from then building it from scratch to the part that it's at just now?
I think it's just being consistent in it, and that's the biggest part, because at the end of the day, see, when you're running a business and you're an owner of a business, ain't no one gonna run that business for you. Especially when it's still at that developing stage, ain't no one gonna run that business for you but yourself. So it's just having that kind of hustling mentality always. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, because if not, I ain't doing it, and if I ain't doing it, the business ain't doing it either. You get me? So it's always just being consistent with everything, my posting, my clients, advertising, the few things I do, keeping up with the barber shop and stuff like that. It's just, you've got to keep on top of it, because if not, things just deteriorate, and I don't want things to deteriorate. So it's just, I've always got to be on top of it. And obviously being a young guy, there's so much distractions out there also, man. You know, it's like this age, everyone's out boozing, partying, buds, doing this, doing that, and it's kind of just having that tunnel vision of, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to stick to it, because loads of distractions around it can kind of lead you off path. You know what I mean? Lead you off path, but it's like just kind of having that tunnel vision and just, okay, this is what I want to do, and I need to stick to it. Like it's always good to just have like, no, I mean, to have fun now and then, but it's like knowing your end goal, okay, and what am I going to do to get there? Yeah.
I think, it's a balance, like obviously going out and enjoying yourself, but personally myself as well, running businesses, I completely understand what you're saying, because if we were just out getting mad with it every single
Know what I
weekend,
mean?
it does
Yeah.
not tie hand in hand.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you go
does
out on the Saturday, you feel shit to the Wednesday,
Yeah.
and you're just not on 100%
Not
top
at
form.
all,
And
man.
like you said as well, see if you're then starting to slip away, somebody else is then going to get ahead
Exactly,
of you
that's
as well,
it.
and you
That's
can't
it.
have
That's
that.
it. That's
No,
it. And
definitely
it's
not.
like just keeping on top of it, as you said, man. I think that's the hardest part also, but that's what keeps me going in it. That's what I get a buzz off of that. Just know
That's
what I
it.
mean. So it's good, man.
That's it. And also as well, you had you were on TV as well.
Yeah.
Was that your own show that you had?
No. I wish, man. I wish.
Yeah. Pending. It is
Soon
pending.
come.
Pending, yeah.
No, it was strangers on a plane I was on, man. So I think it was like this agency team or whatever. They set me. I was like, look, we want you on this show. It's a brand new show. I was like, you get a free holiday. That's as soon as I heard free holiday, I was like, I said, I'm there, man.
Pack
So
my bags, I'm
yeah,
going,
I'm there, man. So it was a good experience to be fair, man. It was a good experience. I had fun, free holiday, everything was paid for, and it was you know.
So what were you actually doing on the show then? Sorry, I've not actually seen it, but what?
No, it's alright.
Sorry, but I just thought I know about
No, it's all good. No, it's all good.
I'll go home and watch it. I promise.
So it was 5 contestants, right? So we were there for 5 days. What was it? I think we were in Benidorm. We were in Benidorm. So we were in Benidorm. We were there for 5 days, and every contestant picked out the hotel we stayed in, the morning activity, night activity, the food we ate. Pretty much your whole day, they planned it out, and then you vote everyone's day on how good it was or how bad it was, and whoever has the most votes wins. You know what I mean? So it's just. That was pretty much it, man. It was a good experience because every single day was different.
Okay.
And you kind of seen what this person would do in their kind of idea of a holiday. So it was fun, man.
And when obviously that kind of came about the TV show coming on, were you just thinking in your head, this is just going to be good for business?
I just.
Or was it just something to you just fuck it? Like, let's just
something
do
to
something.
do, man.
Yeah.
It was something to do. I think like it was good for business to just having eyes on you on the TV and that, but it was more for just something to do, man. Just to be buzz, man. It was like if it's free and it's just it's an experience at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
it.
man.
And I want to talk to you then about the future of X Studios. What is the future? Because I take it you're not just somebody that just wants to have one barber shop and then.
Oh
that's your
no.
man.
Like I want to like expand my business and I want to develop barbers and teaching and everything. I want to just kind of everything within the barbering. I want to kind of just evolve and develop it. And at the moment, it's like the past year I've actually, because right now we've been at the X studio. Solely got 2 barber chairs at the moment, and we're due to expand. You know what I mean? It's about time because we've outgrew that place within the first year we were even there. Like we're extremely busy. Like
As in you've outgrown the actual shop, it's too small.
yeah,
or-
it's too small.
Okay.
Like we've outgrown the shop, we've outgrown everything in that place. To be fair, but the problem is, it's like I've been trying to look for units, and I've been trying to look, like the past year and a half to expand. But because I'm one of them people. If I'm stuck with something in my head, it's like, oh, that's what I want. That's what I want to do.
that, yep.
So it's like the place I wanted it with obviously the size, the location, because everything plays into part with obviously the can you get into there by driving, is the parking, is how close is it to the city centre, this, that. And the place I wanted, those 2 units available, and someone else nicked it before me, and I was raging, man. So I'm staying patient, and hopefully when the right time comes, it comes in it. But I'm still looking, but the places that are available is not where I want it. And I think in business, it's like you can't really rush. You've got to make sure the right things comes at the right time. You get me? You've got to be kind of calculated with things.
You can take risks, but also be smart about it.
Yeah, no,
as
for
well.
sure, for
And
sure.
like you said, if you're somebody that's clear that you when you have this kind of certain image in your head, that is what you need to do, and that's
for
what you
real.
want to get, then
Yeah.
definitely hold off for it. So it's a case of expanding. What about then? Are you wanting to kind of expand as in like have franchises of barbers, or do you just want that kind of one studio where it's yours?
Like hopefully in the future we can expand and have many more. But also I think it's just thinking step by step and doing things step by step, because right now we still need to get to the bigger barbershop and expanding that. So as soon as that's done, we'll see what's next from there. But right now I'm still working on lots of things behind the scenes, but right now I just need to think of, okay, what's the next step? What do I need to do next? And hopefully if the barbershop goes well, then we can expand more and more. But right now it's just, okay, what do I need to do next? I'm just thinking of the next step right now.
Yeah. And to kind of finish off then, if you had one bit of advice for any young guys or girls out there that wanted to become a barber, what would it be?
I'll say keep working on your craft, you know what I mean? Because really and truly, man, anything in this world you want to do, you can do it for free. You know what I mean? Like there's YouTube there, there's Google there, you've got your phone there. Just Google how to do it and do it. know what I mean? There's no like, oh, I want to do this. Nah, do it. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. When I was 14, I just done it. I looked up on YouTube, how to do a fade, learned it step by step and done it. And I think that's what it is. It's like just doing it and keeping consistent with it as well. So first of all, doing things, 2, consistency, and 3, just focus.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think there's going to be so many people that look up to you as well that obviously do want to get into barbering, because I think maybe beforehand you would maybe just think, oh, if you want to be a barber, you'll just go and work in any kind of wee shop and then that's you the rest of your life. Whereas I think other people will be looking at you and being like, no, like, there's so much more to it, and there is so much more there available to it than just being like a kind of barber in a barber shop.
For sure.
There's endless kind of ways to actually progress in it as well, man. And no, thank you. Listen, mate, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it, because you know, it's inspirational, the fact that, you know, since 14 years old, you just took your passion, you know, you were grinding away, working, going to school non-stop 24/7. So to see how it's progressed to the point where you're mobbed, you're booking in celebrities, everything, man, it's so good to see, bro.
So much. Thank you so much for
so much for coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
my guy.
man.
Thank you, bro. Cheers.